Hey folks, Mr. Justin here with Secret Weapon Miniatures and another day in the studio. I'm back working on that Orky tank and my Gaslands teams for the Nova Open Charitable Foundation, trying to get things finished. Hey, Finley Craig on Facebook. Hey, thank you for joining. Yeah, working on the Orky tank and the Gaslands team again. Here's that Gaslands team, of course. And let me pull up, I always forget to pull up the desk cam video controller before I start. One of these days it'll be a habit. Today is not that day. Alright, so here's the Gaslands team, and that's what I'm working on at the moment. I'm just finishing these up. This is my Verney team. Again, we've got the performance car with a napalm thrower at the front, sentinel guns in the back. We have the buggy with rocket launcher, and we have the buggy with minigun and mine layer. Kaboom! And what I was doing, well, first off, I'm changing glasses. I'm an old man, and I need to change my glasses to my painting glasses. All right, so the first thing I was doing is I realized as I was doing this that if I'm painting, I might as well be live and hanging with all my friends instead of doing this in a vacuum. Also, I left my other paint towel somewhere else. I wonder where I took that off. It's probably a sock covered in paint sitting in the kitchen. But all right. Ooh, yeah, that Comet Red sat there for a while. That's exciting. Let's thin that out a bit. Or a lot. I smile because in the background I can hear my son negotiating with his mother about Minecraft. And I'm shocked, I say, shocked. Not so shocked. Hey, Jason. Oh yeah, you had this one? Ah, that's actually a holdover for me too. When I got into Gaslands, I still had a bunch of cars. And then a friend of the family found out we were doing it. Friend of my wife's, actually. Well, friend of the family, but my wife knows her from teaching. And a retired teacher, she had literally bags and bags of Gaslands cars. I'm sorry, Hot Wheels Gaslands cars. Listen to me. She had bags and bags of little cars. And yeah, gave a couple to us. And yeah, so many gems in that when I look back and I'm like, oh. From Death Race 2000, I've got that green color and texture. I'm really happy with these. And it really is a great model for Gaslands. I mean, you just about can't beat it. I mean, especially once you add a little minigun on the front. Everybody likes a minigun. And I added this little piece here. That little detail is from the Secret Weapon Brass Etch set as well. Just because I wanted a little more detail on that engine. And that was a nice, simple piece to add. It worked out perfectly. Same with the crossbones here. The rocket launcher is a Secret Weapons conversion bit. In fact, I should probably link those over to the Gaslands section. But right now, what I need to do is clean up my stump sign. Still listening to my son out there negotiating for more Minecraft. It's great. Tried to get him in here all day. He has not wanted to create today. Well, that's not entirely true. My son would love to create some combat robots today. For those that have missed previous episodes, as a family, the four of us have just discovered the ant weight combat robot class. Which in the United States is a 1 pound combat robot. Yeah, and we've watched some ant weight competition highlights. We've been watching ant weight build guides. We've ordered a book on combat robotics. There's actually a great book on the electronics and components for combat robotics. So yeah, suddenly in quarantine, as a household, we're really getting into combat robotics. My wife and I have been watching Robot Wars for better than 20 years. I saw one of the first live Robot Wars in San Francisco in 1999. So we've been following Robot Wars, and now what do you call it? BattleBots. But we've only watched the 2020 season of BattleBots. 2019 season, excuse me. But yeah, as a household, we've very much gotten into combat robotics now that we know that there's an ant weight class and we can actually afford to do it. And even if we never get a chance to, compete out in the real world, because, who knows what that's going to look like in the future, at least for the moment, as a household, yeah, we're going to build a little combat arena in the backyard and build some robots, and it's going to be great. In the meantime, though, I realized I was taking pigments today to the Orky tank. Taka, 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 swish! Oop, actually, I need to paint that gun before I do anything else. Maybe add some color to the engine. Ooh, somebody's cooking lunch. Mm-hmm. What is that? That smells good.
I have no idea, but it does smell good.
Half an English muffin for breakfast, and suddenly food smells amazing. All right. In the meantime, I am loading up the airbrush. I'm going to take care of this gun here. And I'm going to start, as I often do, with a coat of dark iron. Ooh, actually, you know what? Do the copper fixtures on this one. I know I haven't used you recently. Oh no, I need my pokey tool. Poke. Wipe. All right. Palette. Cap. Big brush. Ooh, the biggest brush. I got a big brush. All right, here we go. Wet. Dry. Dab. Brush. Trust me, it's all gonna work out great. If you're not making noises when you paint, you're probably doing it wrong. Just saying.
Did you want me to heat up some of that pork and some beans?
Go, what do we have? Andrew, thank you for liking the stream. I don't know, I figure I'll be here for a while. I'm not actually home. But thank you. Alright, so I'm going to let that dry, because I just slathered it on there. Alright. And I'm going to bring some color into the engine at some point, and I might do that now, since I already have the airbrush ready to go. Hey, Andy, thank you for liking the stream. Much appreciated. Let's see. All right. So am I starting with pigments, or am I getting back to the Gaslands cars? And if I have to ask you guys, I'm probably in trouble. Oh. On the new Army Painter dry brushes? Well, I didn't know about that. But I'll tell you this. Anybody who's selling you a dry brushing brush is just taking your money.
Yep.
I buy a lot of cheap flat brushes. I don't. What the hell did I pay for this? I think the price is probably on here. It's a level 1 shader for newbies. Yeah, and I don't think I paid more than $1, $2 for this.
This was $10.
Okay, yeah. Here's Jess points out this was $10. And yeah, this is the sort of thing I would get for dry brushing. I mean, these are all the way across the scale. And I can, because my workbench is modular, let's see if I can get this out of here. It's so full of brushes, I might not be able to pull it out. Get the Dremel stand out of the way. Get that particular brush out of the way. All right. Hey, Kevin, thank you for liking the stream. yeah, I have this entire bin full of just, well, either crappy or retired brushes that were good at one point, but now I use them for oils, enamels, whatever. And this entire bin, discounting the used and no longer cohesive sable brushes, I don't think this entire bin cost me $20. I really don't. Most of them are American Painter brushes. I really like the American Painter brand. Hey, Chris, thank you for liking the stream too. Yeah, I buy a lot of inexpensive American Painter brushes. I do most of my painting with artificial brushes these days. I don't use a lot of sable. There's no reason to for acrylics. So anybody selling you a dry brushing brush or airbrush paint, it falls into the same category, right? Like, it's just a goddamn flat shader. Don't pretend it's special. Don't pretend it's for dry brushing. It's just a brush. Of course, it's new and it's shiny, so I'm sure it's selling very well. But that's me being bitter and quarantine speaking. So, all right. Enough about dry brushing brushes. Let's get over here to some pigments. Hey, I already have the pile of pigments from the last broadcast. I just never got around to using it, so I already have that. All right, so where am I going to start? Let's start, since I have all these blues, I'm obviously planning to start on the red side. So I'm going to bring the tank over here. And I have all these blues and greens because I'm actually going to do the weathering on this side and blues and greens. And let's see, I need a palette knife. Like, I know I have a whole drawer full of these. That one will do. You're a breath of fresh air. Well, Alex, thank you very much. I have no idea why, but I appreciate the sentiment. All right, let's see. I want some patina blue for sure. I don't want the sewage muck. Actually, I do want faded blue. I want faded green. And I don't want either of those. So I've changed my mind on those three colors like I do. One of them still has the plastic in it because obviously I haven't used it in a while. But let's see. Faded green, faded blue. Look at these beautiful colors. Oh my God. Bring this in. In fact, I'm going to zoom out one. It's the hat. I understand. The hat definitely makes me a breath of fresh air because I'm wearing a hat not because of quarantine hair. My quarantine mohawk is sad and floppy. Woo, little quarantine hawk. So yes, I can understand how the hat. My charming chapeau. All right, so I've got these beautiful colors here, right? Faded green, faded blue, patina blue. And the reason I'm doing these, hey, Gregory Ziniga has liked the stream. That means Greg is here. What's up, Greg? All right. I don't think you've missed a stream, Greg. But all right, because I'm doing red on this side, and I will use some of this on the other side of the yellow to help make a cohesive piece. But I'm going to make the primary weathering on this side the blues and greens. Primarily blue, believe it or not, these two, a little bit of the green. The idea that you have to use a contrast color or opposing color is how I like to think about it, because negative is not complementary. Negative is opposing. The opposite of red is green. That doesn't mean you have to put green in all of your red or red in all of your green. Orcs don't need red eyes just because they happen to be green. An orc in the snow should probably have blue eyes because, hey, now it transmits the idea of cold. But anyway, now I'm just babbling about color theory like I do. All right. A little bit of, ooh, what do we get? Dennis has liked the stream. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. A little bit of the blue, a little bit of the blue. Boom, boom, boom. Figure out why I have plaster on the end of this one. Wonder what I was doing last time. Well, that's not true. I know exactly what I was doing. If I got plaster on there, I was making bases. So, what are the odds of that, right? Well, check that out, Greg. Either we get to enjoy you get to enjoy us for lunch, or your end of day notes. Greg, folks, is one of our friends. I was about to put water in here. I'm looking at this bottle. I'm like, why doesn't that feel right? And that's because one is smaller than the other, and I do that on purpose, so I know which is which. But all right, Greg is one of our friends on the front lines of the COVID fight. So tip of the hat to him for staying safe. Just giving these a little swish, creating a little pigment wash. I'm using 99% isopropyl. I know some of you are thinking, dude, you could sell that online for a mint, but I'm still waiting for Sacramento to have a shortage on hand sanitizer. So far, the hospitals are doing well, but the moment there's a shortage, Secret Weapon will step up. And since we have a paint bottling machine and the capacity, and literally a distillery next door to us, yeah, we're standing by to step up and do something. But for the moment, I can use my isopropyl for modeling. So I'm loading up some pigment. Boop. Ooh, I'm gonna over apply. That's too much. Suck some of that off of there. Add a bit of ISO. Pew! Remember, if you're not making noises when you paint, you're probably doing it wrong. I don't know about today, but other days, man, I've got to ask. Does anybody remember Commander Mark from PBS? Draw, draw, draw. Practice your drawing 20 or 30 minutes every day. Oh my God. I love Commander Mark. He's broadcasting again. I forget his full name because for me, he'll always be Commander Mark. I've made this nice and thin, and I am applying it liberally because I want some streaks. Gravity does a great job of replicating the effects of gravity. As you see. Getting it all over that pipe. Remember, because I'm using 99% ISO, I'm also not brushing, I'm tapping. Because if I brush, I'll strip paint. I don't want that. Hey, Jess.
Hey.
Oh, you were doing it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's different.
It's all gone now. Sorry.
Oh, dang.
You could have some of this, but I put some of the ghost pepper sauce in it.
Oh, my God. So I can have some of that, but I would regret it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Because ghost pepper sauce.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair.
They're having BLTs. That's what smells so good. Bacon.
Yeah, bacon does smell good. All right, so let's see. Let's get some of this faded green on here. Stir it up. Dip across here. Jason says, hi, Jess.
Which Jason?
Jason Dyer.
Oh, hey, Jason. I know several, so.
Fair enough. Yeah, I did just say Jason. The only Jason that matters, obviously. You know that. Well, he knows that.
I'm already regretting my lunch choice.
No sympathy.
Not asking for any. I do it to myself.
That's what she said?
For anyone listening to this, I'm a chili head, so I put ghost pepper oil on all the things.
It's true. And since Jess has been sheltering in place with us, we've put a lot of peppers into the greenhouse. We have a ridiculous amount of really scary peppers in the greenhouse. Mm-hmm. I am substantially less of a chili head than she is, but still a chili head. Just without quite the tolerance of she and Marika. And if you guys don't know that, if you're familiar with Marika Ramir, miniature painter, or used to be, now she's too busy at Yale being a neurologist to, paint miniatures, and I guess that's fair. But also a chili head. I can remember going out to dinner with Jess and Marika and having them both pull out little dropper bottles like this that turned out to be full of ghost pepper oil. Because we went to a ramen place and we all three of us ordered the spicy ramen. And yeah, they both took a bite and went, okay. Now it has ghost pepper in it.
Now it's spicy.
It was hard to sit across from them. It was so spicy. Woo!
Or how about the lentils at Adepticon, where we each popped just a capsaicin capsule into the lentils?
Some people just want to watch their butts burn. Does that still work?
I'm not going to stop until that has tolerance too.
Oh, and Paul Fillion is online. Hey, mate.
Oh, hello,
Good to
Paul.
see you, man. Hello from Eastern Canada, he says. Greg wants to know if you're trying to murder the McCoys through Chili's, like you tried to murder him. I'm sure there's a story there, Greg. Yeah, she says no. I say, what was that? Go on, tell me more. All right. So I don't want as much of this color over here, I don't think. Maybe I do. Maybe I'm going to do all of my weathering with this color set. I am, actually. I've just decided. Now is the perfect time to decide. It's going to look great.
I actually need to get a spare dropper bottle so I can keep some of that hot sauce everywhere. It is the good stuff.
Aw, I hear Troll Hunter happening in the living room. Missing episode of Troll Hunter? It's a good thing I like you guys. And it's a good thing we watched Troll Hunter more than once. Still surprised every time we boot an episode and it says created, directed, etc. by Guillermo del Toro, and I'm like, wait, what, dude? Like, so you did a kids show? Because why not? At that point, like, what don't you do? All right. Before I get to the green, because again, the green is an opposing color to the red. I prefer the term opposing to complementary because there's nothing complementary about the opposite of your color. It does not complement. Red is the opposite of green. Green is the opposite of red. There's nothing complementary about it. Complementary colors come from the scheme, not the wheel. This is a charity project. Yes, Paul, both the tank that I'm doing here and the Gaslands team that I have here are for the Nova Open Charitable Foundation. In fact, the deadline was the 31st of May, which is why I'm sitting here today doing all of this. And again, I figure if I'm painting, I might as well broadcast, because why not? It'd be foolish not to. I get an excuse to hang out with all you cool cats. All right, so on this side, you can see the pigments have dried. Nice and dramatic. I'm actually going to come in with my Q-tip and remove some of that. But from where? Right here? Nope. I used ISO, so we are stuck with this. I'll use washes later to get it out. Yeah. All right. I'll do these tracks. I'm probably going to leave alone, but let's see. I might put a little bit of the green in them, but I'm doing the blue right now. So let's. Got a lot of pigment in here, so I need to add some more ISO. So I want a nice thin wash. Tell you the truth, Paul, I don't know that Nova has canceled yet, but yeah, we should assume. If they don't cancel, please don't go. Simple as that. about to get a lot worse.
It would only make sense that they cancel. I mean, it's the same weekend as ReaperCon, and ReaperCon is already canceled.
Yeah. Yes, but we shall see. I do expect them to cancel. Mike Brandt, TO for Nova Open and the original founder, very much understands the risk of the novel coronavirus and COVID-19. And that reassures me. In addition to the understandable George Floyd protests, Sacramento is still seeing lockdown protests at the state capitol. And because those that don't know, I'm in Sacramento, California. And yeah, watching the lockdown protests happen, yeah. Anyway, how about that cheese? I really enjoy cheese. It's delicious. And it stops up my pooper.
You read Greg's comment on the ramen?
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh. I broke a tusk.
Oh.
I'll have to fix that later. Oh, did I read Greg's? World's hottest prepackaged ramen, 3 adults, 1 bathroom the day before. Oh my gosh. What's we get for making it snow? Oh yeah, so he had the one-time spicy ramen?
He had the one-time spicy.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, dude, it's so much worse now. In which case, yes, I have had that. Also, I have enjoyed that. In small doses. But when we do hot pot, I still enjoy a nice, Sichuan hot pot. My hot pot is spicy. Ooh, who'd we get? Eric has liked the stream. Thank you very much. Oh yeah, those veggie dumplings are great. We've put some of those veggie dumplings into the hot pot before, and oh my gosh, whew! Put the toilet paper in the freezer. That's all right, man. We've got a bidet. I mean, we're super classy chili eaters here. We know that chili eaters need a bidet, so.
Well, it needs to shoot milk for it to work properly.
I got nothing. I'm not touching that. There's nothing you just said out loud that I want to be a part of. All right, I'm putting some of this dark blue on the guns, pretending that none of this is happening. All right, I was checking in on Dylan for Seamus. Did I get a response? I have not gotten a response. Oh, I have. Oh, stop. Come back. All right, Dylan is not available.
Dylan's not doing it today?
Not available.
Oh, okay. Do you want me to text Monica and let her know?
No, it's already doing stuff. Pew. And cheese is life. It's true. Cheese is so good.
Except for when you wake up and your mozzarella's gone bad and you don't have citric acid and run it so you can make your own. I briefly got excited thinking, oh, I'll make my own. I'm like, no, Justin's not going to have the 2 things I need to make this cheese.
Probably not. I don't know exactly what my kid is doing in the front room, but he's having a good time.
I'll give you 10 guesses as to what they're watching.
Oh, is it still Troll Hunter?
Oh, of course.
It sounded like he was playing a game, because he's like, did you see that coming?
I'll play a game. Here, PlayStation Idol sound.
Suddenly airbrush, reminding me that I haven't used you in a while. So I was airbrushing earlier, but not presently. All right. So we're coming back around to where the dark blue has also dried on the red side. You can start to see we get that nice contrast on all of this. Looking a little goopy, a little interesting. I'll come back with green in a bit. We've got the dark blue I've used on the weapons has dried. On the yellow, on this side, yeah, we're still working on it. Still dry, but that's all right. Gives me an excuse to come around to the green for a few little spots of colors. Spots of color, rather. There's only one color here. All right, I'm going to. Don't you put you there? Here. Right back here. There's a thin spot. Here's the pipe. Hey, David, thank you for liking the stream. Much appreciated. We do it for you. Just you, actually, David. I don't know what the rest of these people are doing here. Oop. I know I'm off screen, though. Here we go. Look at the green on the guns. Be a nice contrast with the metal. Oop, too much. Wipey, wipey. Wipey, wipey. Wipey, wipey. There we go. That's my side of this.
So you like cheese? Would you like to make cheese?
Yes. Is that a trick question? Well, David, thank you very much. That's very kind. All right, a bit of this green over here on the yellow. I want to spot here. Spot here. None of those. Here. Here. On this side, I'll use more of the green because we've got the yellow. All right, let's see what that the green is done on this side. Get out of the way. So you can see the little spots of color here. Get some focus. Perfect. All right, there you go. As you can, no, I'm just kidding. All right. There we go. Manual focus for the win. But yeah, I've just got those little spots of green now. So I don't want to do a lot of green on here. It's not a complementary color. It's an opposing color. Oops, my finger is sticking to the yellow side because there's isopropyl on it and I've got my fingers on it. On this side, more of the green. Oops, still wet. All right, I need to leave that alone for a bit and come back to the Gaslands vehicles, obviously. All right, Gaslands for the win. All right, so pigment on these. Am I going to pigment these? I don't know if I'm going to pigment these. I suppose I should. I mean, we're making vehicles, so. Alright, let's see. Well, I don't get to because I'm missing the color I want. Oh, no, there it is. Which wouldn't have made much sense anyway, because how could I be missing a pigment color? It happens, though. Woo! Alright, so I'm making, not surprisingly, more... Ooh, hey, this one hasn't been opened yet. Look at that. I have an unopened pigment container. Mine excites. More of the burning sands than ancient earth, because that yellow will look nice with all of the green. And again, just making a nice pigment wash. I promise I do apply pigments differently, but the vast majority of the time I'm doing washes. It does what I need it to do, gets into the recesses nicely. There we go. Set that a little angle. Get a little cup here. And just applying it to the runner. We'll let this one dry to see how the wash is doing. Make sure it's not too thin and too thick. Particularly with yellow, I find that I can over-apply it. Any of the yellows, I find I over-apply them fairly easily. Still smiling at the sounds of troll hunters coming from the living room. Can recognize the voices. Alright, so back to that first vehicle. Alright, a little too thin, so I'm going to go ahead and lay it flat. That way the pigment's not, because if I do this, the pigment's all going to pool. I can actually reverse it if I want heavy pigment. Can I get it? There you go. Sort of. There you go. You can see how there's a heavy pigment buildup on this edge. If I tilt down, oof, there it goes. But I can actually draw additional pigment from here if I need to. And I do. Oof. So I'm hitting that spot. Nice little pools on the back. Pool. Put that one aside. Check out this guy. Still needs some love. Nice little puddle. Nice little puddle. 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 Take some extra pigment. Put that in this puddle. Put that in this puddle. So remember, weathering is simply the interplay between the subject and its environment. Everything is weathered. Or the studio is weathered. Little nicks and dings at the bottom where it's been scratched up. Little discoloration from handling over the years. All of that is weathering. In this case, I'm using weathering as an excuse to create color harmony between the three models. And that works too. But all right, let's take a look at the tank, which is all dry now. Here's our yellow side. There we go. Vellum smoke trails. Interesting. I like that idea. Curious to see what that'll look like. And of course, I'm very fortunate that Jess is going to do all of the grots on this for Nova Open, because that way they'll look good. Vehicles I can do, figures are not my thing. Especially, I mean, I got that little freaking freehand Evil Sons. I mean, I can't. It's awesome. All right. Anyhow, back to weathering this thing. I want some of the blue on the top. Not that much in one row. There we go. Except on the rivets. Rivets get the blue. Hey, Kristen Booth has liked the stream. Hey, Kristen.
Hey, Kristen.
That's cool. Good to see you. Just me painting a tank. Kristen Booth has been a friend of mine for, good golly gosh, more than 20 years. Started out as dance buddies back in the day, when we were young. All right, just putting the pigment wash. And again, I'm using the blue on this side. Help create color harmony between the red and the yellow sides. It's a nice split scheme, and a nice Orky tank, but we've got to make sure it works. All right, let's get to this weapon. The weapon, I'm going to wind up airbrushing, but first, I'm actually just going to dry brush some of the engine metal, pachow, over that copper fixtures. And I'm going to use my very fancy custom dry brushing brush to do that. Sorry, maybe that's too much snark. Just dry brushing. Create some color interest. It now has a unique color compared to the rest of the weapons and the vehicle, which for the electric zapper weapon makes sense. I like the idea that it's copper. All right. And now I get to show off with the Infinity airbrush. Once it charges. It's a good opportunity to hydrate along the runners. Just a hint. I thought about adding some to the plow, but I'm not gonna. Let's see this guy. Yeah, just there on the runners. I'd like a little more on this side, so I'm gonna take a heavy pigment. Again, I can tilt it so that I can get to more pigment up the top where you can see the buildup, or less pigment down here where it's fluid. Like right here, I'd get the least. Right here, I'd get the most. So I'm actually coming in, I'm gonna get a nice run of pigment, get a little damp, and then go boom right here. So I want a nice thick buildup on the outside of these wheel guards. Last but not least, this guy's still not doing it for me. Same deal. Do a nice heavier buildup along the runners here. in the back, I like it. Here on the runners, not so much. Ooh, I'm flinging pigment around too. I see as I move the brush, I'm throwing pigment somewhere. So hopefully that winds up somewhere interesting. All right, that aside, get back to the airbrush. Oh, airbrush. Ow! It bit me. That's what I get for cuddling an airbrush, I guess. Stab myself with a needle.
Better than cutting yourself in the freezer thing.
Yes. All right. I need turquoise. So what I'm doing now, I'm coming back to the Orky tankiness, and I'm coming back to this electric zapper weapon thing that I improvised on the front here. Let's get it out of the logo. And I'm going to do the blue on this and create some little zappy lines between the ball and this, and maybe over here, and I'll add some detail and color back here. But for the moment, the important thing for me is to take this section here, add the blue so that I can add dark blue after that and some zappy lines, and probably back here on this coil, much like we would do in the 40K world for plasma weapons. In fact, speaking of that glow for plasma weapons, I'm going to start with white. Heck. Man, my thumb really hurts. Oh, it's bleeding too. Look at that. The airbrush drew blood. Yay!
About time. Got it.
Airbrush bucket. Ooh, gotta reach. But hey, at least the studio is organized. It's a mess, but we know where everything is now. And it's gonna be a mess because there are 4 of us in here now. I'm trapped at home. Well, mostly. We've all been making our trips to the warehouse. My wife and son have been instrumental in helping lately, very much so. Monica has been helping me reorganize the warehouse a lot. She insists on doing a lot of the heavy lifting. She misses the physicality of being a teacher where she's walking around all day. She's also very much an active person, former NCAA athlete, who's now sitting around at home going, well, this sucks. So yeah, she's insisted on coming to the warehouse and helping me move the racks and furniture and fixtures and whatnot so that we can create a more cohesive workflow in the warehouse. And Seamus, for anybody who caught the 1 gallon bag of crap deal, Seamus and Monica packed all of those. Yeah, they've been really helping out. Still mostly me and Jess, but it's nice to not have to do it all by ourselves.
Looking forward to getting back in there tomorrow.
Yep.
Though I do have to readjust my brain every time we go in because we've been doing so much cleanup that things are constantly in flux.
Yep, things aren't where you expect them to be. The good news is they're where they should be.
Yes.
And where they are makes more sense. There we go. Might as well paint the bottom side too, huh? All right, so at this point I've taken the turquoise and I've added some glow to the front there. And you can already see, I mean, it looks electrified. It's great. Added some glow to the coil back there. But yeah, that weapon Oh, Infinity. Oh, such a good airbrush. Who's a good airbrush? You're a good airbrush. Who loves you? I do. Yes, I do. All right. And then, Payne's gray, no. Purple? No, I just need a dark blue. No being that interesting. Of course, if I don't find one of my dark blues in a hurry, I'm going to just go ahead and use purple. Ooh, indigo. That'll do. What a lovely compromise. All right. Also, for folks just catching up, I don't know if you guys have seen recently, but oh, did I hear a knock?
I don't believe so.
No, okay. Looks like somebody knocking at the door. But the family is getting into combat robotics. We discovered the ant-weight battle robot class, which in the U.S. is a 1 pound robot, in the UK 150 grams. And we've been watching builds tutorials and looking at vendors, and yeah, it really looks like the family's going to have a collection of 1 pound combat ready robots soon, because my son is super excited. My son has dyslexia, so do I. And thanks to him, I've only learned recently about the superpowers associated with dyslexia. Three-dimensional visualization is one of them, and process analytics is another. And it's funny because, I look back on my career and realize that, dyslexia really helped me out, which I wouldn't have known if it weren't for my kid having the diagnosis. And I'm like, oh, well, that explains a lot about me. But robotics fits several niches for him. And he's been obsessed with Lego robotics for a while. My wife and I have been watching Robot Wars for better than 20 years. Saw one of the first fights in 1999 in San Francisco. So yeah, we're actually going to put together a team page here pretty quick and reach out for friends to sponsor the kid. And we'll probably start with some of the FingerTech Viper 2 kits, just so we have a couple of working robots to start with. And then at the same time, order all the components we need, get to 3D printing some stuff. And of course, because there's an active global bot fighting community, it turns out Thingiverse, I'm told, but I haven't actually looked yet, is just chock full of the things that we will need in order to print a lot of our components and whatnot. So yeah, we are super excited. There's my brilliant yellow. This is another translucent yellow. And I am not putting this everywhere. I am going to intentionally avoid that white dot in the center. There we are. Boom, ready for detailing. All right, so now we have a bright and dangerous electric Zappa weapon on the front of this thing. I'll fix the tusk, which obviously needs to be repainted anyway. We'll be back to being full DACA instead of sad little tusky DACA. Pigments have dried. Now I need to figure out what to do with this rocket. I haven't done anything with the rocket yet. It's just this big red thing sitting there, so we'll do something about that. And last but not least, take another look at the... Hey, kiddo, what's up?
Pops, it's okay if you can see if Dylan can make a Zoom party with me?
I did check in, and Dylan is not available right now.
When is he?
I don't know.
Okay.
They're not home right now.
Okay.
Hey, close the door, please.
On it.
But all right, as I get ready to wind down here, we'll take another look at the Gaslands vehicles and see how that pigment did. There we go. On the runners there. On the runner here. Still not a lot on the runner. I mean, there's obviously a seam right there that it's flowing into. Oh, but it worked on this side. I like that. Look at that. At the bottom of the door. I like that. A little bit over here, but I like it on that side. All right, cool. Worked in the back. I'm happy with that. And on our performance car, there we go. Works just fine along the bottom of the runners. We've got our napalm launcher in the front with the secret weapon ram. Love this piece of brass. And then our sentry guns in the back. Pew pew pew. Whoosh. All right. So that's the Gaslands team. Ready to go for the Nova Open Charitable Foundation. The tank will be ready to go. Woo! Suddenly spider. Hey, little spider.
Where'd he go?
That's right over there. But
Oh, yeah.
yeah, it ran right across the... Chances are good people got to look at the little spider. Yeah, this will be ready to go. I'm going to finish some little lines and details on the weapon there. I'll take the white ball and I'll glaze it. And then put some white lightning streaks out from it, coming off of the weapon into this area. Make it all sparkly. And then, yeah, it's off to Jess for the grots. I suppose I should do something with the crow's nest. I kind of forgot about that. So I'll throw some airbrush paint on the crow's nest in a minute. Or later. I'm hungry. It's time to take a break. It's 2 p.m. and, yeah, time for a break. But yeah, these will all be available on the Nova Open Charitable Foundation website very soon. It's a great charitable cause. Well, it's a great charity, and they give to great charities. So I hope you'll consider buying some tickets to win not only these models, but fabulous painters from around the world contribute to the Nova Open Charitable Foundation every year. And yeah, there are lots and lots and lots and lots of great models. I know I'll be buying tickets for anything that I didn't paint, at least a few of them, every time. And,
You could totally get lucky. It's the only way I have a Roman piece.
Oh yeah, that Roman Lapat vampire you won by doing raffle tickets. Yeah. Yeah. I have one in here, but only because it was my birthday. And he painted it in class, so... Yeah, otherwise, yeah, I can't imagine owning a Roman piece or a Rafa piece. That'd be great.
Yeah.
But yeah, folks, that's it. Thank you so much for tuning in on a Workbench Whenever. It's been random. It's been fun. Please stay safe out there. Keep apart from other folks. Wear your mask. Be safe, please.